Powerball numbers for this evening, and remember to make Universal Orlando Resort your next vacation destination. Good night.
From WCAX, Vermont's most trusted news source, this is the Channel 3 News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adam Sullivan. More radioactive tritium has been detected at Vermont Yankee. On Friday, Vermont health officials announced that tritium has been found in a drinking well on the property. However, the well has not been used since March. The Environmental Protection Agency says the tritium levels fall within what is called a safe range, but now candidates for governor are saying what they feel the new discovery means for the future of the plant.
The recent developments are troubling. We need to hold energy management responsible. We need to ask the tough questions.
He says he wants his questions answered before he can take a definitive position on the future of the power plant. On the other hand, Democrat Peter Shumlin says the new discovery of the tritium is yet another example why the plant should be shut down.
I mean, how many lies, how many leaks, how many contaminated wells is going to be?
Looking into whether ongoing testing at Yankee may have cross-contaminated the well. In other news, Burlington was abuzz today celebrating diversity. The National Down Syndrome Society has been sponsoring awareness walks for the last 15 years. And today, the Queen City took part in one as well. Jennifer Redding reports.
For these kids, the sky's the limit.
The walk is great.
A couple hundred kids, parents, and buddies of people with Down syndrome walked through the streets of Burlington today. Their mission? To promote the ideas of acceptance, inclusion, and empowerment of people with Down syndrome.
There are about 300 walks across the country, and there's never been one in Burlington.
Back in July, the newly formed Champlain Valley Down Syndrome Support Group decided it was time for the largest county in the state to band together to raise public awareness of the chromosomal disorder.
It's important for Caroline to know that people are aware of Down syndrome, and that people with Down syndrome can do what everybody else can, and that they are really included in everything, and sort of just a celebration of that.
We're out, we're walking on Church Street, we're together in large numbers. Clearly we want the very best for our children, for their future. It's about advocacy.
And they say that advocacy starts with education. These parents say the biggest step towards a better public understanding is the integration of their children into the mainstream classrooms.
It allows children to grow up with kids with Down syndrome and appreciate who they are and what they can do.
Kids right now growing up and going to school with kids with special needs have so much to learn. They learn about attitude, about acceptance, about the joy of life, and there are lessons to be learned for everybody. And those are opportunities that I didn't have when I was growing up.
About 1 in every 800 children are born with Down syndrome, representing about 5,000 births in the U.S. every year. And while great strides have been made in Down syndrome research, events like this one raise awareness that more needs to be done.
I really just hope that people can come together and recognize our children, what they're capable of doing, potential to live very active, independent lives.
Lives that are showing us all that limitations are only a state of mind. Jennifer Redding, Channel 3 News, Burlington.
The Grow an Extra Row campaign is coming to an end, but officials say they still need a lot more food. Rutland Our Farm and Food Link, or raffle, collects donations from families and farmers at the Saturday's Farmers Market. The food is distributed to food shelves across Rutland County to provide fresh produce to struggling families. Organizers say they've seen a lot of generosity so far, but they are still short of their goal.
I think last year we got about 6,000 pounds through the whole season. And this year, and also last year was really rainy, it wasn't as good of a growing season. And then this year has been an excellent growing season for almost everything. And we gave everybody enough notice, and we've gotten about 12,000 pounds so far.
Raffle has set a goal of collecting 20,000 pounds of food by the end of next month. Still ahead on the Channel 3 News, the latest on the plight of the dairy farm. And racing around Rutland, all for a good cause. But first, here's Dave with the weather.
It's definitely a chilly one this evening, and pretty much everyone can expect a frost or freeze tonight. So let's take a look at the wake-up weather, and it's going to be clear and cold with frost and freezes likely, including the Champlain Valley. Lows will be in the mid-20s to low 30s, and I'll be back with the entire forecast in a few minutes.
Agriculture officials across our region continue to worry about the area's dairy farmers, but they say there is some good news. Prices for milk have rebounded in recent months. Milk is worth about $18 per every 11 gallons produced. But officials say that over the past several years, the number of dairy farms in Vermont has slowly been on the decline. Officials say it's mostly due to an antiquated pricing system that they say needs to be changed.
They've lost a lot of capital in the past. Many farmers have lost at least $1,000 per cow, and when you figure that the average size farm in Vermont's 130, that's $130,000 last year that many have lost, so they've lost a lot of capital. But they're an optimistic group.
Hear more from Secretary Albee tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. He's our guest on You Can Quote Me right here on the Channel 3 News. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a group in Rutland decided to have some fun with it. The city played host to the first Great Rutland Race as an effort to raise money and awareness for cancer patients and survivors. Molly Smith tells us more.
It was a challenging day in Rutland, literally. 25 teams of 2 participated in the very first Great Rutland Race.
I'm an amazing race fanatic myself, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we did something here locally?
Tracy Pena heads the Pink Ribbon Butterfly Project in Rutland and decided to throw the event as a fundraiser for her foundation, but knew she couldn't do it alone, so she reached out to Parks and Rec.
There's a lot of communities that do urban adventures, but I never could figure out how to completely pull it off. And then Tracy appeared. She had this great idea of doing a race, and it was a great matchup.
The race began at 9 o'clock this morning with 15 locations scattered across the greater Rutland area, providing challenges for the teams. These challenges included building a complex ring pyramid, pairing birthstones to the month, answering trivia questions about salon chemistry, walking around the farmer's market tied at the ankles in search of egg vendors, team rock climbing, and changing a flat tire.
Organizers say the event was also a way to get participants into businesses they may not normally visit, raising awareness for breast cancer and the downtown Rutland economy.
2 young men were in, and they were looking around, and they were, wow, we've never been in here before.
Both from people coming in who are just, as I said, haven't been here in a while, or people have never been in this place but only heard about it. So the exposure is great.
The event had everyone racing across the city. The run to the finish line was very tight.
And we're coming up the path up behind Walmart, and the train tracks are there, and we heard the train, and we were like, oh no, we're gonna get stuck behind the train.
Team Waldo was the first to cross the finish line at 12:40, winning by a hair.
Team 2 is 12:42, so just 2 minutes in between, and 3 minutes later the third team came through.
Good fun for a great cause. Molly Smith, Channel 3 News in Rutland.
And the event raised $3,000. The money will be split between the Pink Ribbon Butterfly Project and the Rec Department's Scholarship Fund. Dave is here now with a look at the weather. Good day for a race.
Yeah, true. Needed to run to stay warm. It was pretty chilly today in spite of the sunshine. Definitely a frosty one tonight. The forecast is coming up. And good evening. Currently in Burlington, we have clear skies. Take a look at this, 38 degrees already. The dew point is 30, giving us a relative humidity at 89%. The pressure is 30 inches even and holding steady, and the wind is calm. So it's chilly to even cold outside right now. Well, today we did have a pretty quiet day, though. Plenty of sunshine out there thanks to high pressure, but it was a bit on the chilly side. Burlington's high today was only 53 degrees. Some places only had 40s for daytime highs. It's quiet, but chilly to cold. Already 36 in St. Johnsbury, 41 in Montpelier, 34 degrees in Sherbrooke. Saranac Lake already almost freezing at 33 degrees, and it's 34 in Plattsburgh. And down to the south, well, it's relatively mild in Glens Falls at 46 degrees. It's 38 degrees in Springfield and 37 degrees in Keene. The coldest spots will be dropping into the mid-20s tonight with frost and freezes likely. New York City, well, summer like there. They're at 61 degrees. So there's a freeze warning in effect for the Champlain Valley from 2 a.m. until 8 a.m. on Sunday. If you're right on the lake, you may not get a frost, but pretty much everybody in the Champlain Valley, well, looks like the growing season will be over. It is over for places like the Adirondacks and most of Vermont. That's why you don't have any warnings out. And it's still looking pretty good for the fall foliage, getting a little bit past peak, unfortunately, for the mountains, but still, basically a lot of color going on, and it's looking really good for checking out the foliage for the next few days. But just bundle up. It's going to be a touch on the chilly side. Aside from that, pretty nice for Sunday, more sunshine on the way, and then Columbus Day looking pretty quiet as well, but it's going to be turning a little bit cooler again. So the forecast then for Sunday, well, after a cold, frosty morning, it's going to be mostly sunny and a little bit milder than it was today, with highs in the 50s to near 60. For Sunday night, mainly clear, pretty cold again with lows in the 30s. And for Monday, Columbus Day, not bad, partly sunny, but a bit on the cool side with highs in the upper 40s to mid 50s. Monday night, cold again with some 20s for lows, mid 20s to low 30s. Partly sunny on Tuesday, highs in the 50s. Lows again, 25 to 35 degrees. Wednesday will be mostly sunny, highs back into the 50s. Then it gets a bit unsettled for the end of the week. Thursday will be mostly cloudy. There is a chance for showers with highs 45 to 55. Mostly cloudy on Friday, a chance for showers, highs again 45 to 55 degrees. Next Saturday, not bad, partly sunny with highs 45 to 55. I think summer is officially over.
Yeah, summer is over and winter is right around the corner.
Yeah, really, it's coming.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Still ahead on the Channel 3 News, some chicken pot pie with a side of politics. Stories coming up next.
I'm very concerned about the safety of Vermont Yankee.
There was a leak and then another leak.
Cooling tower collapsing, underground pipes leaking.
When state lawmakers voted to close Vermont Yankee, Brian Doobie said he would have voted to keep it open.
This stuff is radioactive.
We really got to shut the thing down.
The Times-Argus says Doobie is looking beyond the warning signs to an unjustified rosy scenario.
Keeping Vermont Yankee open for another 20 years would be a disaster.
Tell Brian Doobie he's wrong about Vermont Yankee.
One day only. It's Goodnight Moon's biggest Serta mattress event of the year. During the Beat the Clock mattress sale, the sooner you shop, the bigger you save. Save 50% from 6 to 9, 40% from 9 to noon, 35% from noon to 3, and 30% from 3 till closing on all Serta premium and ultra premium mattress sets. So hurry in and beat the clock. Sunday, October 10th only, and get the best Serta mattress savings of the year. Goodnight Moon, located at Creek Farm Plaza in Colchester, Vermont.
Our state is in trouble. We have a stalled economy and a broken government. As Attorney General, Andrew Cuomo has taken on the tough fights and won. Now he has a detailed plan to bring real fiscal discipline to New York. Cut agencies and authorities by 20%. Eliminate the deficit. No new taxes. That will create jobs. And Andrew Cuomo can get it done. Carl Palladino has no plan, no experience, and his anger is not a governing strategy. The choice is clear. Andrew Cuomo for governor.
Leadership matters. Brian Doobie has a vision for a better Vermont to help small businesses create jobs, reform the regulatory process so companies can start hiring again, cut taxes for struggling families so they can keep more of what they earn, and create opportunities for our kids to stay and work in the state they love. That's Brian's vision.
Learn more at visionforvermont.com.
What do chicken pie suppers and politicians have in common? We took a trip to the Burlington Congregational Church to find out. Anson Tebbets reports.
Since 1798, the Burlington Congregational Church has celebrated fall with food.
I love doing it. It's a work of love for me, enjoyment. I really enjoy working on this.
Making chicken pie is part of the mission for Thana Adams and her helpers.
We usually use some dark meat and some white meat. Makes it tastier.
And so does the gravy. Make that lump-free gravy.
I use a whip to make sure that the thickening is smooth.
It's a smooth operation. Adams shared the church's recipe in advance of their annual chicken pie dinner, scheduled this year for October 23rd. From start to finish, the chicken pie is made from scratch. Countless volunteers make it happen.
I make 18 dozen biscuits for the chicken pie supper.
Only 18 dozen?
Only 18 dozen.
Dozens attend the dinner.
They do sell out very fast.
Candidates line up too. Chicken pie and politics are the perfect combination. You're the dean of the Vermont Senate, but could we also give you the title of the dean of the chicken pie circuit?
Well, I don't want to prematurely assume that honor, but I have done many over the years.
State Senator Bill Doyle will hit more than 20 dinners before Election Day. It's retail politics over chicken pie. Face-to-face exchanges, an important part of democracy, according to this history professor.
And I think the volunteer spirit through the churches and the schools add to the quality of life of the community and are absolutely crucial and helps make this nation the great nation it is.
A nation and a community that comes together over chicken pie, a tradition these cooks say will survive.
I believe it will. I think there are a lot of the younger people who are still willing to work on it and enjoy it as much as we have.
Comfort food you can find at your church or school every fall. Anson Tabbits, Channel 3 News, Berlin.
And we were able to get our hands on that recipe. If you'd like it, you can go to our website at WCAX.com. All right, Seth is here now with sports. You love chicken.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, man.
There it is. There it is. And you're at the Gut tonight.
We were at the Gut. Denver and Vermont. The Cats trying to bounce back from last night's loss. We've got the highlights and a really hard hit. Wait till you see this one. Also, we're hitting the gridiron. All four of our local teams in action. We were at all four games. Highlights next.
WCAX-TV, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies at the station. We seek the help of local organizations in referring qualified applicants. Organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should contact Human Resources at WCAX-TV by calling 802-652-6300.
WCAX.com. News and information when you need it, when you want it. More interactive than ever before. More ways for you to get connected and stay connected. WCAX.com. Get your news anytime, anywhere.
We still got a lot to learn, but, we got to flush this one right away.
Just got to flush that kind of thing and come out and do a better job tomorrow.
All right, well, the season's underway, and that Game 1 loss, it's flushed. It's gone. The Cats looking for their first win, wrapping up their series with number 9, Denver, tonight. This one, a lot of tempo in the early going, and this is the highlight right here. First period, the Cats getting physical. Dan Lawson lowering the boom. That guy is huge. I would not want to be hit by him. Denver getting on the board in the second. Drew Shore beating Rob Medor. It's 1-0 Pioneers. UVM answering 15 minutes later. Lawson shot for the point, deflecting off the Denver defenseman and in. Lawson tying the game at 1. We go to overtime. Both goalies, well, they'll take it from there. Medor making 28 stops as Denver had a couple chances in OT. This one, however, ending in a 1-1 tie. Our very own Scott Fleischman has more from the Gut.
After getting outshot 10-5 in the first period, Vermont regrouped during the first intermission and came out flying and physical, earning a 1-1 tie here at Gutterson.
Went in between periods, we addressed about 5 different things. And from that point forward, the guys nailed it to a T. So great sign for our team that we can have a poor period and then come back and play as well and as hard as they did.
Coach really came into the locker room and stressed the importance of laying the body and playing physical, and that's where you're really going to get a lot of energy.
I think at the end of the year we'll probably look back and say this was important, but just try to play it like it's just another game.
Well, the Catamounts now have some time off before their next game. They will next do battle here 2 weeks from tonight in the Hockey East Opener against Merrimack. At the Gutterson Fieldhouse, I'm Scott Fleischman, Channel 3 Sports.
Thank you, Scott. A tie that kind of felt like a win. Let's go from the gut over to Prague. The Bruins kicking off the season overseas against Phoenix. Eric Belanger putting the Coyotes up 4-0 in the final minute of the second period. The only bright spot for Boston newcomer Nathan Horton. 2 goals for him. Bezo, they dropped their season opener 5-2. Same 2 teams going at it bright and early tomorrow, 10 a.m. How about the Habs looking for their first win of the season, visiting Pittsburgh. Wild finish. Penguins up 2-1 with under 3 to go. Mike Camilleri potting his second goal of the game, tying it at 2. 24 seconds later, Scott Gomez, that's a game winner. Habs win number 1 on the season, 3-2 the final. Well, big day for college football in our region. All 4 local teams at home, and we're at all 4 games. We'll start in Hanover. Dartmouth looking for their first Ivy League win against Yale. Big Green 2-1. Heading into this one, coming off an overtime heartbreaker at Penn. First quarter, Big Green down 7-0. Connor Kemp to Michael Riley, 44 yards down to the Yale 1. That sets up a nice little chip shot for Foley Schmidt. 37-yard field goal is good, and Dartmouth within a couple, it's 7-3. Big Green taking the lead in the second quarter. Nick Schweiger, 6 yards to the house. That run putting him over 1,000 yards for his career, but it comes in a loss. Yale with a field goal at the end, winning this one 23-20. From the Ivy League to the NESCAC, Middlebury hosting Amherst, and the foliage beautiful in this one. Truly a masterful display of offense as well. Panthers up 9-0 in the half. Teams combining for 60 points in the second. Alex Vetris hitting Will Reed, 26-yard score. Lord Jeffs go up 10-9, but here comes Middlebury. Burlington's favorite running back, Andrew Plumley, getting in. He had 2 scores on the day. Caps a 14-play, 80-yard drive. Then Donnie McKillop up top to Zach Driscoll. That's a touchdown. McKillop, 47 completions. That ties the school record. His old school record. We're tied at 24, but too much from Amherst. They've won 11 straight games for a reason. Lord Jeff score on every possession in the second half. They take this one 38-31. Amherst undefeated. Middlebury now 1-2. Big ECFC battle at Castleton. Second place Spartans hosting first place SUNY Maritime. Castleton down 7-0 in the first. Here comes Sparty. Shane Brzezowski to Springfield grad Brandon Boyle. 8-yard touchdown. We're tied at 7. But the Privateers are legit. They score 3 straight touchdowns to close the half. Joe Dickey, 4 scores on the day. Maritime rolls 41-28. They're now 3-0 in conference. Sparty, they're 2-1. A pair of 1-1 teams going at it at Norwich. Cadets hosting Gallaudet. Cadets rolling 31-7 at the half. Second half, much different story. Chris Sabrin getting picked off here. Tony Tatum going to take that one all the way to the end zone. Gallaudet getting the 2-point conversion. Now it's a 31-23 game. They had plenty of chances to try and tie the game, but Norwich defense coming up big. Brandon Fowler coming up with the strip. Joseph Muno, the recovery. Then with about a minute to go in the game, Sean Stone, right place. And I'm going to say right time. Picking that one off. Cadets, though, they could not take advantage of the turnover. So Gallaudet, one last chance. 2 seconds on the clock. The Hail Mary looking deep. But you know what you do? You knock it down. And the Cadets do it. They hold on for a big 31-23 win. They're now 5-1 overall, 2-1 in conference. Well, the Vermont Frost Thieves one step closer to finalizing their roster. The community-owned club holding tryouts this afternoon over at Essex High School. 45 players on hand to try and impress Coach Joe Salerno and GM Don Mandelkorn. Great variety of talent. Guys from all across the country and right here in our backyard. Burlington's B.J. Robertson. Look at this. Looks like LeBron James. And Johnson State grad Bobby Shedd from Lamoille. He was there. They're all fighting for a spot at the veteran camp that's coming up on December 5th. So, hey, we got hockey going on. We got basketball. It almost feels like winter. We also have baseball. The Yankees looking good, up 6-0 in the 8th, trying to wrap up their series over the Twins. The Rays won this afternoon, avoiding elimination.
All right, lots going on.
What?
I'm on a tie that felt like a win.
It did? Yeah, there's all different kinds of ties, man.
Well, let's look at the weather.
Oh, wintry tonight. No snow, but cold, though. Lows in the mid-20s to low 30s.
All right, bundle
Speaking
up.
of ties, look at this one.
All right, it's a good one. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
The deal is on. Are you ready to jump on it?
Go to Vermontopia.com now and get a 2-hour limousine ride to any location from Apollo Limousine, a $230 value for just $115.
Jump on it now at Vermontopia.com.